CSEC Mathematics May 2023, Paper 2. We're at question 8. Now, remember, you must make a genuine effort at answering the questions before watching these videos. You could answer part A of a question, then you watch the video, part B, and so on. It's important for you to try the question yourself as practice. All right? So, let's look at question 8. They ask you to complete the table for the function y equals negative x squared plus x plus 7. So, if you haven't done so yet, you pause the video and work it out and complete the table. I had copied this question over here. So, let us see what's going on here now. For negative 3, at x equals negative 3, y is equal to negative x squared. Remember, x is negative 3. So it's negative 3 squared, right? Plus, and by the way, let me write out the equation here. It says negative x squared plus x plus 7. Now, negative x squared means the same as negative 1 multiplied by x squared, alright? Now, x is negative 3. So it's negative 1 multiplied by negative 3 squared plus x, which means plus negative 3 plus 7 equals negative 3 squared is positive 9. So this is like negative 1 times 9 plus negative 3 means minus 3 plus 7. See that? Equals negative 1 times 9 is negative 9 minus 3 plus 7. Now, if you're on the number line, this is 0. You're at negative 9. And you're minus 3. It means you go 3 to the left. So, 9, 10, 11, 12. It means you go to negative 12. Alright? You're at negative 12. And in a plus 7. You're moving to the right now. What's the difference between 7 and 12? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 5. So when you go to the right, you're at negative 5. You would not reach 0 yet, so you're still in the negative. So this is negative 5. Alright? Now, here. Remember, it is y equals negative 1 times x squared. Because negative x squared is like negative 1 times x squared plus x plus 7. Now here, the next value here is negative 1. So this is negative 1 squared. And then the x part here is negative 1. So what you have is negative 1 squared is positive 1. There's negative 1 times 1, which is negative 1. Plus negative 1 means minus 1 plus 7. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. So it's negative 2 plus 7. Alright? Now here, Negative 2 plus 7 is going to be a positive 5. So you see that? Now, we go to the next number, which is 1. And remember, if you had tried the previous one and didn't get it, you should try this one. You must keep trying it. This is negative 1 times x squared plus x plus 7. This is 1. So this is going to be 1 squared plus 1 plus 7. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1 plus 1 plus 7. But here, what you find is that negative 1 plus 1 is 0, so this is gone, and the answer here is 7. Alright? Now let's see what happens when you have 3. 3 here is negative 1 times 3 squared plus 3. Or let me rewrite it as x first, at x squared. Negative 1 times x squared plus x plus 7. But in this case, x is 3. So it's going to be 3 squared plus 3 plus 7. So it's going to be negative 9 plus 3 plus 7. Now, negative 9 plus 3 is going to be negative 6. Negative 6 plus 7. Yeah, negative 6, and you go to the right 7. So it's going to be a positive 1. Alright? So that's what you have there. Let's get these out of the way. Now, on the grid below, draw the graph. You're at negative 3, negative 5. So, negative 3, negative 5. Just plot the individual points. Negative 2, 1. So we are at negative 2. X is negative 2, y is 1. Be here. When x is negative 1, y is 5. So we are at negative 1, 5. Negative 1, 5 will be here. Then 0, 7. At 0, 7. So let's look at the next point. 2, 5. When x is 2, y is 5. Should be right here. 3, 1. X is 3, y is 1. 4, negative 5. 4, negative 5. Now, I'm going to try my hand at drawing a smooth curve. It should be a smooth curve. Do not join the points with straight lines, alright? See. Alright. Let me see what might happen at this point here. My curve isn't really so smooth, but you know, you get the idea. I think probably this would go up a bit, you know. A bit more before coming back down. That probably would be what the curve look like, or what the graph would look like. And then here, let's see what else they say you must do. Write down the coordinates of the minimum or maximum point on the graph. Now, from looking at the graph, it seems as if the coordinates would be, well, it's somewhere between 7 and 8. It's above 7. Let me kind of zoom in here. If you look at this, between 7 and 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 5 divisions. 1 unit difference is divided into 5 divisions, so each of these divisions is 0.2. 1 divided by 5 is 7.2, 7.4. It looks like about 7.4. Alright? So it would be y equals 7.4 at that point. But what about x? What is the value of x up there? Let's look again. It probably passes through 7.4 right along this line, you know. So let's say it's half. X equals 0.5, 7.4. So the coordinates would be 0.5, 7.4. So that's what you would write in this space here. Alright? Part D. Write down the equation of the axis of symmetry of the graph. Now, you have two ways of getting that. You could use the graph and try to estimate what the axis of symmetry is. Or you could do it by calculation. Alright? Those are two ways that you could do it. Let's use both ways. Now, from looking at the graph, we say that this line right here is the line which is the axis of symmetry. And we're saying it passes through x equals 0.5. So the equation of the axis of symmetry would be x is equal to 0.5, or x equal half. That is what you would write here. Alright? Now, let's look back at the equation. It's y equal negative x squared plus x plus 7. Now, the equation of the axis of symmetry generally is x is equal to negative b over 2a. Now, in this case, our a is equal to, remember, a is the number that multiplies x squared. And negative x squared means the same as negative 1 times x squared. Remember the general format of the quadratic equation: ax squared plus bx plus c. Alright? Now, what you have is number times x squared. This is same as negative 1 times x squared. Right? Same thing. Now, in that case, what you're going to have is negative b. B is the number that multiplies x. B is 1 divided by 2 times a. So it's negative b. I should put the negative here. Negative b over 2 times negative 1. So you see that. So here now, you have negative 1 over negative 2, which is positive half. So the estimation was correct. Alright? That estimation was correct. So it is indeed half. X is equal to a half is the equation of the axis of symmetry. So you see that. Now, use your graph to find the solutions of the equation negative x squared plus x plus 7 equals 0. How will that one go? Here, the curve is of the equation y equals, let me write it down again. The curve is y equals negative x squared. Let me rewrite that part. Negative x squared plus x plus 7. And then they say equals 0. Equals 0 means y equals 0. Now you want to look at the line y equals 0 and see where both lines or both curves intersect. Where does this and this meet up with each other? Alright? Where do they meet? Let us see. Remember, the curve y equals 0 is the x-axis. Alright? So you're really looking at where the curve intersects the x-axis. It seems as if it's negative 2.25. So, in this case, let me just erase this thing that I accidentally put here. Oh no. Negative 2.25, negative 2.25. So it seems like x equals negative 2.25 and x equal over here. Where does it intersect? About 3.25. So remember, these are the points I'm looking at here and here. Alright? Now, on the grid on page 24, draw a line through negative 3, negative 1. So, where is negative 3, negative 1? So you must draw a line through negative 3, negative 1 right here. And 0, 8. 0, 8. Right. So let's draw our line. Alright. That's our line. Determine the equation of this line in the form y equals mx plus c. Alright, you have different ways of determining what's going on. You can see, first, when you have y equals mx plus c, that's the general equation of a straight line. Alright? Y equals mx plus c. C is the y-intercept wherever it cuts the y-axis. You can see here that it is 8. So y is equal to mx plus 8. Then you consider m is the gradient. Now, if you take 2 points on this line, say here and here, the gradient of this little triangle that you found, that you form, would be the rise over the run. How much does it rise? Rise is 1, 2, 3 up. So this is 3. And how much does it run across? 1, 2. It runs 2 across. So the gradient will be rise, which is 3, over run, which is 2, which is 1.5. That's estimating from the graph. Now, let us use calculations. We have 3, negative 1. So the points that we have here, 3, negative 1, and also 0, 8, 0, 8. Now, to get m, the gradient, we have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. If we consider this point as point 1, this will be x1, this is y1. This point as point 2, this is x2, this is y2. Alright? So that's what we have. Now, y2 is 8 minus y1 is negative 1. That's the rise over the run. The difference between the y's is the rise. The difference between the x's is the runs. x2 is 0 minus x1 is 3. So, what we have, 8 minus negative 1 is 8 plus 1, which is 9. Over, oh, it's 0, 8. Hold on, let me see something here. Let me just make sure. Negative 3, negative 1, and 0, 8. Negative 3, negative 1, 0, 8. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, I made it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see something here. Let me zoom in to make sure about something. We go from negative 2 to negative 1. Oh, there was a mistake here that I made earlier. The run was, the rise was between here and here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the run is 1 unit. I counted the squares 1, 2, but it's negative 2 to negative 1. So it's 1 unit for the run. This should have been 1. Even though it cuts 2 squares. The fact is, when you go from here to here, it's 1 unit you're covering. This is 0, and then you have to jump 2 squares to reach 1. So I was counting the 2 squares as 2 units. It's 2 squares. So this number, this 2 here, should have been 1. So the actual gradient is 3, not 1.5. Alright, doing it by calculation now, I realize it. 8 minus negative 1 is 8 plus 1, which is 9. And then here is you have y2, x2, y2 minus y1, so it's 8 minus negative 1, or x2 minus x1. So here, x1, y1 is 3, negative 1, x2, x1, no, x2, y2, I mean, is 0 and 8. So y2 is 8 minus y1, negative 1, over x2, which is 0, minus x1. So that's negative 3. So this is showing a minus negative 3, minus 3. This is showing a negative 3. Why is it showing a negative 3? Let us see. Oh, negative 3. x1 is negative 3. Made a mistake again. I did not put the negative in front of the 3. So it's a minus negative 3. So it will become a positive 3. This is negative 3, negative 1. Negative 3, negative 1. So it's y2 minus y1, which is 8 minus negative 1 over 0 minus negative 3. So what you have is a positive 3 here. So gradient is 3. All right, what else? Yeah, you need the C. So if you're doing it, the C by calculation, the C part, what you would have is y equals 3x plus c. Use one of these y's and one of these x. So let us use the 0 and the 8. Alright? So y is 8 equals 3 times 0 plus c. So this is 0. So 8 is equal to c. C is equal to 8. So here now, the full equation is y is equal to 3x plus 8. So that's the equation of the line using both methods. That is it for question 8.